Pavai Nombu is a tradition that has been followed for eons in southern part of Tamil Nadu, and Sangha Ilakyam has got enough and more references of this Pavai Nombu. This Pavai Nombu is performed in Margazhi. Margazhi is between December 16th to January 14th or 15th. That month is called Margazhi, and Pavai Nombu is performed that time. So now we have Andal, who is a very young girl. As I said, she is below 10 years at that time. And she performs the Pavai Nombu. And what does she do is, during this time, she gives us the Thiruppavai. Now, Andal has, along with other, as I said, all the 12 hours offerings, and the compendium of that is 4,000 Divya Pravandam, 4,000 Divya Pravandam, out of which Andal is given 30 pasurams as Thiruppavai and 143 pasurams as Nachiyar Tirumozhi. So, out of the 4,000 verses, 173 verses is given by Andal, 30 Thiruppavai, 143 Nachiyar Tirumozhi. So, in this Pavai Nombu time, during the Margazhi, she gives us the Thiruppavai. And what is Thiruppavai? Why is it very important? Is Thiruppavai shows us the bhakti, shows us group prayers, and the path to attain Perumal. So here, who is given this? Andal. Who is Andal? Incarnation of Bhumi Mata. So why Thiruppavai becomes very important is, it is Bhumi Mata, the consort of Perumal, as our Thayar, just for us as a mother would do to her children. She is now protecting us by giving the specifics of what and how to reach Perumal. And she, as an Alvar, shows us the love and bhakti to Perumal, and as an Acharya, gives us the path to reach Perumal. So here, Thiruppavai becomes much stronger because it is given by the Divine Mother as the mother, as an Alvar, and as an Acharya. So that is what makes Thiruppavai very special. Number 2, the Pandits, Acharyas have worshipped and brought out the thing saying, Vedam Anittukkum Vittu. That is the most important. So that means we have 4 Vedas, Rig, Yajur, Sama, Atharvana Vedas. All the 4 Vedas' essence is what is Thiruppavai. In school-going days, we would have been asked to write Presi writing. A huge essay they would have given, asked us to condense it to 120, 150 words, with giving the exact spirit of what it is. We can equate kind of this to huge Vedas. The essence of it is given as Thiruppavai. So if we don't know to learn the Vedas, if we don't have time to learn the Vedas, then we do Thiruppavai. So that is where it becomes even more important. So this Thiruppavai has got 30 pasurams. It is a straight set of 30 pasurams, but there is a beautiful structure to it. The first 5 pasurams is basically Andal explains why are we performing this Pavai Nombu, what are the do's and don'ts, whom are we worshipping. Then 6 to 15 pasurams, Andal mentions the practices that we need to do as part of Pavai Nombu. 16th to 20th pasuram, that is where Andal goes around, wakes all her friends around, basically wakes all of us, and then says we have to go and do this, perform this Pavai Nombu and worship Perumal, the group prayer. And 21 to 24, Pasurams 21 to 24, Andal extols the praises, worships and eulogizes the Kalyana Guna of Perumal. 25 to 29 Pasurams Andal tells us how to reach Perumal. So that is where she performs the role of an Acharya. And 30th Pasuram, as it is called, Palastuti. Basically, what do we get if we recite all the 30 Pasurams of Thiruppavai? So that is how it is structured. So for the benefit, I am saying again, Pasuram 1 to 5, whom are we worshipping? Why are we performing this Nombu? And the do's and don'ts. Pasurams 6 to 15 is basically the practices around the Pavai Nombu. Pasurams 16 to 20, Andal wakes up every one of us and does the group prayer. And from 21 to 24 Pasurams, Andal expresses the joy, ecstasy and the praise of the Kalyana Gunas of Perumal. Pasurams 25 to 29, she explains how to reach Perumal. And Pasuram 30 is basically the Palastuti Pasuram. Now, some key facts that we can look at on the Pasurams is, the first Pasuram itself starts Margazhi Tingal Madinirainda Nannalal. Now, Margazhi, why it has to be Margazhi? One, yes, Pavai Nombu was performed in Margazhi, But why Margazhi? It could have been done in any other 12 months, right? Now here comes what Lord Krishna told us in Srimad Bhagavad Gita, where Masana Margasirasham. Among the months, I am Margazhi, is what Sri Krishna himself says. So the Margazhi month is worshipable month, as Sri Krishna himself says, I am this month. Now, from a scientific point of view, Margazhi is the month when ozone layer is at its best. So that is why the practice of waking up early and doing all the rituals and do everything very early in the morning we do, and the street singing as a group, because obviously at that wee hours in the morning we will be afraid to go alone. So the practice of group singing and group bhakti is also started, where scientifically we take the best of the ozone layer and also sing the praise of Perumal. So that is why she starts Margazhi Tingal. Tingal will also mean month, obviously, Margazhi month. The next word she says Madinirendhan Annalal. Again, the beauty of Tamil is here. Tingal also means Nila. Madi can also means Nila. So Margazhi Tingal, Madinirendhan Annalal. So there is some use of two words which can give the same meaning, but actually gives different meaning here. Here, Madi Nirendhan Annalal, we can either construe that it was a Paurnami day, Madi Nirendha, or an intellect-driven person. So basically a day when intellect is high, we can also interpret like that. So that is how she starts and ends the first pasaram with Narayanane Namakke Paritaruvan. The Ekaram is very important. Narayanane. She doesn't say Narayananum, because the Ekaram will come back later, we will talk about it, because Andal's emphasis is very important. So in the very first pasaram, she clearly says, Narayanane Namakke Paritaruvan, and directs us whom to worship, or whom she is worshipping and whom we should follow. In the second pasaram, she says, Vayyattu Valvirgal. So normally we say in current days world, these rituals are not for me, these prayers I am not able to do, I have other priorities, I am pulled in all directions, I have a work to take care, children to take care. We have 100 excuses. So Andal slaps right in our face and says, Vayyattu Valvirgal. These are people who are living in this world. Vayyam is earth and this world is what she is talking about. And she is Bhumi Mata. We are all in her lap. And she is telling us as her children, who are in her protection, in her lap as her child, to say Vayyattu Valvirgal. So immediately she says, these are for all of you children who are living in this earth. So this Thiruppavai is recitable every day by us for people who are living here. And then in this second pasaram, she says, Neyyundam, Palundam, Natkale, Niradi, Mayyitteludam, Malarittu Namudiyam. So she says the don'ts. I will not do all these things. I am going to perform a very closed, focused yaga, or what do you call, Spave Nombu. So that is in second. In third pasaram, she says, Ongi Ulagalanda Uttaman Per Padi, Nama Sankirtanam, Per Padi. Now we'll come to terms of Uttaman, Ongi Ulaganda is Thiruvikraman. Why the term Uttaman? We can talk about it later, but Per Padi, she is talking about Nama Sankirtanam. The fourth pasaram is very interesting. Aadimalai Kanna, it will start. It will have Ragaram 11 times in that pasaram alone. Tamil's beauty is the Ra, and this pasaram has got 11 Ras. So just for the recitation and perfection of Tamil, we can recite this particular fourth pasaram, or we can check our ability of Tamil. We can check anybody who says who is a Tamilan to recite this freely and then see how their Tamil is. And it's a beauty. Of course, the inner meanings and all that are amazing in this. The fifth pasaram, starting Mayanai, Manna Vadumadare Maindane, is important, where this says, Vayinal Padi, Manathinal Sindit, Tu Malar, Tu Vittudu. You remember, when Varaha Perumal rescues Bhumi Mata, these are the three things he told Bhumi Mata, that we have to sing his praises, Nama Sankirtanam, we have to keep thinking of Perumal all the time, and we have to offer our flowers and perform Archana. There are exactly 3 points. She stays in the first 5 pasaram itself. First pasaram, she says whom to do this, Narayanane Namakke Paritaruvan. In fifth, she says, Vayinal Padi, Manathinal Sindit, Tu Malar, Tu Vittudu. So sing my praises, keep thinking about me, and perform Archana offering flowers. In the sixth pasaram, she explains Hariyandra Peraravam Kette Ezhundiriyo. So there is a thing that we need to do, that there are 4 namas that we have to recite every day in different parts of the time. One is when we wake up, we have to think of Gajendra Moksham. We all know how an elephant Gajendra was caught by a crocodile, and how Perumal came to save the Gajendra Yana when the Gajendra was shouting Adimulame. So elders have established that we need to think of this episode as we wake up in the morning and say Hari, Hari, Hari 7 times. Hari endra peraravam, not in our mind. Andal says, say loudly so that everybody can listen to it. So others sleeping doesn't matter because everybody will wake up with Harinama. Now, who said this is a very interesting thing. Again, we have to go to Satyuga, where we had another demon, Hiranyakasipu, who had a son, Prahlada, while the entire people were forced to worship Hiranyakasipu. His own son was worshipping Narayana, we know that. So the fellow Asura kids were worried and go to Prahlada and says, yeah, are you, because you're king's son, you are able to say Hari and then survive? We'll be killed and crushed. How is that you are able to do? He says, no, nothing will happen. Just do what I say. When you wake up, say Hari 7 times. Whenever you do anything, start saying Keshava and do anything. Whenever you eat or drink, just say Govinda. Whenever you go to bed and sleep, say Madhava. You keep practicing this and I can guarantee nothing will happen to you, is what Prahlada says. Very interesting is that an Asura kid, we are learning from an Asura kid these kind of important things, and this is exactly what here Andal says, Hariyendra Peraravam Ketiliyo. So she says, wake up with Hariyendra Peraravam. So similarly, in the 12th Pasuram, Andal says, Manattikkiniyane Padavumni Vaitiravai. Here, the whole Pasuram, if you read, we will know that Manattikkiniyan is Rama. She's talking about Lord Rama here. And Lord Rama, moment we say Rama, it becomes, we can see a very pleasant feeling, because the image of Rama, the way Rama, as the avataram happened and everything, will bring in a lot of pleasantness. And in Sanskritam also, Rama, Rameti Rama, which will also means bringing in a lot of pleasantness and happiness. So Andal here says, Manattikkiniyane Padavumni Vaitira. Again she says Padavum. So Nama Sankirtanam she is establishing. The 13th Pasuram, Pullinvai Kindane, Polla Arakkane, Killi Kalendane. Now the entire Pasuram, Pandits have established clearly it's about Krishna, but we can also have a basic interpretation. Killi Kalendane. When you want to Killi Kalendane, what do we use? We use our nails. And which avatara used the nails? It is Narsimha avatara. So you can also worship Narsimha in this, but actually the Pasuram is more about Krishna. And the 15th Pasuram is very interesting, where there is a kind of argument between Andal and friends, and where Andal says, Nanedan Aidige. So where she takes, I am the person to be blamed. Taking the blame on oneself is one of the Sri Vaishnava traits expected. And where does probably Andal refer us to this is in Srimad Ramayana, where when Sri Rama is banished to the forest, Bharata is not even in Ayodhya. He comes to Ayodhya and learns about it much later, and then he takes the blame on himself and says, if I was not born, Kaikeyi would not have asked this, would not have banished Rama into the forest, so I have to be blamed. So Bharata, who has nothing to do with this entire episode, takes the blame on himself. And that is the quality of a Sri Vaishnava or a normal people that Andal is eulogizing here, Nanida Naidiga. In the 16th Pasuram, she says, Nayaganai Nandra Andagopanudiya Kovil Kapane Kodithondrum Vasal Kapane. Whenever we go to any Perumal Kovil, and in the Sanctum Sanctorum, main one, just outside you will find two idols, Jaya Vijaya. So she is also respecting them and before going to Perumal. So that is how she starts in the 16th. So like this, a lot of Pasurams will go on. 24th Pasuram, she extols Perumal, like how Periyalvar did Pallande Pallande. Obviously, she is Periyalvar's daughter. She is leaping twice the distance of Periyalvar. Andru Ulagamalanda Yadi Potri, Senrangu Tennilanga Chetrai Taral Potri, Pondra Chagadamudatai Potri. In three things she is talking of Thiruvikrama, Rama and Krishna. So like this, she talks about various things in the 24th Pasuram. Now, the 27, 28 and 29th Pasuram are amazing because she has used Govinda, Govinda, Govinda in each of these Pasuram. Govinda Namam comes in 3 Pasurams continuously. We all know, are kind of used to a kind of ridicule when people use the term Govinda. But Govinda Namam is so powerful that, and because that is the only Nama which emphasizes Perumal or Sri Krishna's Saulabhyam is easy access to all of us. And that Acharyas have clearly established that Govinda Namam is not available even in Sri Vaikuntham, it is available only here. The Ko Saptam has got so many connotations and all that. And Godai, as I said, Goda, we know that is one original name of Andal. So that Ko Saptam has got different dimension and all that. Swami Vedanta Desikan has explained in Godastuti. And Adi Shankara, when he asked us to do Nama Sankirtanam, what does he say? Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Govindam Bhaja Mudamate. He could have said Bhaja Rama, Bhaja Krishna. No, he uses the term Bhaja Govindam. And Govindam Bhaja Mudamate. We are all Mudamates if we are not reciting Govinda Nama. And we have always seen Kada Kalakshepam and all this Govinda Nama Sankirtanam, Govinda, Govinda. That's how they start to do. So the power of Govinda Nama is amazing. At least now we will turn closely and then respect the word Govinda and understand its power as much as we can. So that is very important. And in this, now comes Tamil. In one place, Andal says, Kurai Vandrumillatha Govinda, and another person says, Kuttreval Engalai Kollamal Pogadu. Now, Kurai and Kutram. Again, we are learning Tamil here through Andal. What is Kurai? Kurai is some blemish. All humans have some Kurai. There is no human without Kurai. So when she says, why am I worshipping you? Because you are Kurai Vandrumillatha Govinda. So that is why I am worshipping you. But Kuttreval Engalai Kollamal Pogadu. But I come with a lot of Kutram. And so you don't look at the Kutram. Now what is Kutram? Kutram doesn't mean what is listed in IPC like robbery, murder and all that. If my word, for example, I have a short temper, is a Kurai in me. That's okay. I'm not a human, a perfect human. I can have short temper as my fallacy. But if my short temperedness keeps affecting everybody around me, that fallacy becomes a crime. So that we don't even know. The one wrong word of mine which has impacted on a person adversely, and that means I've already performed a crime. So that is a kind of crime Andal is mentioning. I would have done many. So don't look at all these kutrams that I would have performed is what she is telling Perumal. Now the epitome of Thiruppavai, if I have to say, is Pasuram number 29, which is basically the surrender Pasuram. The Pasuram goes like this: Sitranchirigale Vandunnai Sevittu Un Pottramare Adiye Potrum Porul Kelai Petrum Meittunnum Kulathil Pirandu Ni Kuttreval Engalai Kollamal Pogadu Ittrakparegolvan Andrikand Govinda Etrakkum Yezhel Piravikkum Undannodu Uttrome Yavum Unakke Namat Sevam Matranam Kamangal Matrelor Embavai. This is the 29th Pasuram. She says, I am offering the surrender. Sitranchirigale Vandunnai Sevittu Un Pottramare Adiye Potrum Porul Kelai. So she is surrendering at the divine feet of Perumal. Kuttreval Engalai Kollamal Pogadu. When I come to surrender, please don't look at all my kutrams, because I am not a perfect person. Etrakkum Yezhel Piravikkum. Forever, Yezhel Piravi doesn't mean it's only limited to Yezhel Piravi, forever. That I need to be only performing service at your divine feet. Etrakkum Yezhel Piravikkum Undannodu Uttrome Yavam Umakke Namat Seivam. That's what she says. I told you, in the first Pasuram, we have Ekaram, Narayanane. Andal uses the same Ekaram in the 29th Pasuram. Sitranchirigale Vandunnai Sevittu Un Pottramare Adiye Potrum Porul Kelai Petrum Meittunnum Kulathil Pirandu Ni Kuttreval Engalai Kollamal Pogadu Ittrakkum Yezhel Piravikkum Undannodu Uttrome Yavam Umakke Namat Seivam Matranam Kamangal Matrelor Embavai. No other distractions can happen. So this is the, Acharyas have clearly mentioned, the 29th Pasuram is the epitome of entire Thiruppavai, where we surrender and ask for eternal service at Perumal's divine Thiruvadi. The 30th Pasuram starts Vanga Kadal Kadainda Madhavane Kesavane and ends saying Yengum Thiruvurul Petru Inburvar Embavai. If you recite all these 30 Pasurams, you will get Thiruvarul, Yengum. Thiru is Mahalakshmi Tayar. So you will be blessed with all the health, wealth and prosperity and everything when you recite all the 30 Pasurams. So this is a brief introduction to Thiruppavai. Namo Narayana.